Hello and welcome to this short video highlighting how to use Tree San Diego's tree tracker system to perform your duties as a tree steward in Balboa Park. This video covers our new system introduced in August 2019, which replaces the old system entirely. You can find the tree tracker at sandiegoTreeTracker.org. Before watching this video, be sure to watch our tree tracker overview video to get a quick look at how to look up and view tree information in Tree Tracker. It will also show you what the general public can see using the tree tracker. Let's get started. First, point your browser at sandiegoTreeTracker.org. This will bring you to the public version of the tree tracker. I suggest you follow along on your own device if possible. So the first thing we want to do is click the login button in the upper right corner of the screen. Once you do that, go ahead and enter your username and password. Please note that if you already had a username and password in the old system, these will have been changed for the new system, and you should contact the Conservancy Tree Steward Coordinator for your information. Alright, so once we log in, your view should change to Balboa Park. If it does not do as it does on my sample, please contact us and we will check your user setup. Alright, so once the park loads, we will go up to the display by box in the upper right corner, and we will select TS Zone, which, as you probably guessed, stands for Tree Steward Zone. So we can go up here to the upper right corner, click on Display By, and say Tree Steward Zone. Now let's go ahead and, as you can see, it's displaying trees by zone, but let's go ahead and turn off all the trees except for Zone TST, which is Tree Steward Training. We can click this Toggle All checkbox, and that will hide everything. Now let's click on Zone TST. But something I find helpful is to also click on Not Specified. That will show you all the trees around your trees in white so that you can see where all the trees are. So now that we've got TST Zone selected, you can see it in a few red dots there in the middle of the park. Let's now zoom to the tree marked in red at the northwest corner of the parking lot behind the Prado building and neighboring museum building. So I see our building. Let's zoom in one more time. All right. Let's go ahead and click on this tree to bring up the preview window. Now you can click on the photo for a bigger view. This way we can make sure we are at the right tree. Go ahead and close the photo window. Now we're back at the preview window. Let's now click on the Details button to see more information. Now in this view, you can see and change a lot of the data for the tree. But we do not want you making any changes here. Changes will auto-save and will overwrite the existing data. So we would not have any record of your changes. Anyway, you can see many fields here. First, we see all the tree information. Again, note that you can make changes here, but you should never do so. In fact, we recommend you never even open up this details box just to avoid the problem with accidental overwrites. But let's go through these tabs. You can see all the information about the tree. The name of the tree, the diameter of the tree, the height of the tree. A lot of information, including the project it's planted for, when it was planted, who planted it. When we go back up to the top, you'll find other tabs. There's a location tab, which describes some information, including what kind of irrigation is present. Most of the trees say unspecified, but we're hoping over time to go in and put this detail in, but we don't want you doing that, so please don't change anything in here. Under management, there are some notes where we would keep notes as to what we're intending to do on these trees, so this is where our notes would be. But the tree stewards have a number of fields, and they're under this Tree Steward tab, and you can see all the fields you're familiar with that you've gone through in the training today. You do not make changes here, but you can see all of your data is visible here. If you click on the History tab, you can see that there's inspection and work history. So under inspection, it says no results because we have not yet performed an inspection on this tree. So there's nothing there. Let's go ahead and close this out. And let's now say we want to do an inspection. So we'll select the tree, and the preview window will pop up. And now let's hit the inspect button. There it is. Okay, I thought maybe I hadn't pressed it. So this is where you can enter your observations and notes from the trees. The information you enter here will be easy to spot on our end and will allow us to compile lists of action items to be addressed. So all of the fields you're familiar with start here with overall observations. However, above that, there are a number of fields. Now, in order for these fields to show up in the inspection form, we had to grant you permission in the system to edit these fields, otherwise they wouldn't show up. However, we ask that you never enter anything above the overall observations area unless you have arranged to do so with our staff. Updates to condition, diameter, height, and all these read-only information fields should only be made by Balboa Park Conservancy staff or under their direction. But they're here for you to see, and they can be helpful. But please don't change anything up here above the overall observations. So let's go ahead. But this shows the tree and site info, irrigation info, height, diameter. We'll close those. Now let's say we want to make our changes. As you can see, your previous changes are already visible, and any comments you'd written would be visible as well. So it's just a matter of going through the boxes and opening them up and making whatever changes you like. So let's go ahead and expand all of these fields, and you can see all of the existing data. And you don't have to look through all of these if you don't see any issues. So if you don't see any stakes or trunk issues and you know that you have the list and you know you're familiar with the list, then you can just leave these closed. But the most important thing is that when you're done with this form, you'll notice at the bottom there's the date filled in automatically for you with today's date. Your name will show up under Inspected By automatically. And there's a spot down here to put inspection notes. So let's put an inspection note. This is my first inspection with the new tree tracker. A very special thing about these inspection forms is that you have an option here at the bottom to add a photo. These photos will be completely private, will not be visible to the public, but will be easily seen by our park staff and by our conservancy staff. So if you have a problem with a tree, a broken branch, a tree broken in half, animals living in the berm, insects crawling on the trunk, take all the pictures you like and add them here. So we encourage you to use that. I won't show you now because I'm doing this on a computer, not on a tablet, but I just wanted you to know about this feature. We're very excited about this new feature. Anyway, when you are done, you simply hit Submit. Notice when I hit Submit, for the first time, this is the first time we've ever made an inspection for this tree. A window will pop up saying there are currently no inspections on record for this tree. This is a notice saying that our inspection will not be the first inspection, but will actually be created as the second inspection, and it will automatically create a first inspection with the original information. That way we have a record of where we started. So if this pops up, and this will only pop up once for every tree you have, you just hit OK. There. So inspection submitted successfully. That's great. We can now go and take a look at the details for our tree. And now if we go to the History tab, you can see there's an inspection. And let's go ahead and make this bigger. As you can see, it shows inspection, it assigns them a number, and here's the original data on July 23rd showing all the values, right? And then it shows all the values for our recent inspection. Now I didn't change any values at all. I just added a note, this is my first inspection. That's okay, because now we know this tree was inspected on August 16th. And if there were changes, we'd be able to easily spot them. Let's now do this again quickly using a mobile app. The mobile app is nothing more than the website, which adapts to the browser on your mobile device. While there are a few things that would benefit from a dedicated app, we find the adaptive website to be well suited for training volunteers across a variety of platforms. On the iPhone, let's go ahead and open SanDiegoTreeTracker.org in Safari. So find Safari, open that up, and at the top type in SanDiegoTreeTracker.org. Once the site comes up, we want to create an icon on our home screen so that we can go to this page automatically next time. So if you push the Send To button at the bottom, one of these options will say Add to Home Screen. If I push that, it will allow me to name it, so I will call it Balboa Park Tree Steward. And I'll hit Add. Now, as you can see on my home screen, there's a little icon that says Balboa Park Tree Steward. So it's like an app. I can click it anytime. It will take me directly to the tree tracker. The next thing we need to do is log in. So up here, the menus are a little bit different because it's formatted for your phone, but if you push the upper right corner, you can find the login button, and we can put in our information here. Once you do this, your phone should remember, so it'll be easier in the future. Now we're logged in. Just like before, it will take us in to Balboa Park. And just like before, we can go up to the upper right, we can hit Legend, and we can say Display By, select Tree Steward Zone. We can turn them all off, except for TST, Hours, and Not Specified. Once we've done that, we can simply close this box, and it will update the drawing. We can zoom in to our dot just like before. It's actually a bit easier on the phone. And just like before, if we click on the tree, the details window pops up. And we can hit Inspect. And here are all the options. So I can go in here to Overall Observations, and I can add Berm Broken. I can then go to the bottom and say, Berm is in bad shape. I don't need to add a note down here, but I'm just doing it because I want to show you. Then let's say we want to add a photo. Now, we hit Choose Files, and we can say Take Photo. Let's say there's a cat sleeping under the tree. I can take a picture right now, and now I can use that photo, and I can add a note here. Cat sleeping under tree. So now when we submit this inspection form, that photo will be available to Conservancy staff, and so will the picture. There we go, all done. You have now used the mobile app to inspect a tree. All right, now that we have added an inspection using the mobile device, let's take a look at our tree one more time. Now we see, under Details and under History, we can see that there are now 3 inspections. The first one that we did together on the desktop before, and the one that we did together on my iPhone. You can see this one says, Berm is in bad shape, cat sleeping under tree. It also says, has photos. We're able to view those photos in the office, and you can also see, when I scroll over, you can see change made here where Berm Broken was added. So we see no other changes. But we can run reports based on these inspections to see all the changes and all of your notes. So it's very helpful. As you can see, it's also okay to submit 2 inspections with the same date. They will show up in the proper order. Before I wrap up this video, I wanted to show you a couple other features of the mobile app that will make your job easier. The first is the crosshatch on the left. That will bring up my location as a GPS dot on the map. So here you can see I'm standing near a few of my trees. Let's say I want to inspect one of these trees. I can merely select it, just like before, and hit inspect. At the very top of the screen, there is a button called Open All. If you push that, it will unfold all of the tree inspection categories at once, making the form easier to fill out. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit my inspection. But I want to add a photo, so I choose Photos, choose Files, say Take Photo, and I will take a picture of these roots at the base of the tree. I will use that photo, and I will submit this Tree Steward report. If you'd like to turn off the GPS feature, you can also do so at any time, once you have a sense of where you are. All right, well, thank you for watching this Tree Steward training video. Please be sure to contact us at the Conservancy or at Tree San Diego with any questions you may have.